we decided to listen to and review No Doubt's Tragic Kingdom. So Tragic Kingdom is the third studio album by American rock band No Doubt. It was released on October 10th, 1995. It would be the band's most commercially successful album, reaching number 1 on Billboard 200, selling over 16 million copies worldwide. Tragic Kingdom helped initiate the ska revival of the 1990s, and Rolling Stone magazine ranks this album at 441 on their list of 500 greatest albums of all time. The album is named after the nickname a guitarist Tom Dumont's 7th grade teacher had for Disneyland in Anaheim, California.
Interesting. I always learn little things, little nuances about this when we're doing an album review.
Tragic Kingdom is a very good title. I really like the title of this album.
Yes, I do as well. I guess I'll start it off. Sure. I dug it. It's a good ska album. It's got enough pop to kind of keep a lot of like the normal audience listening, essentially. Like just the horn, it just sounds very happy and everything. But then you get songs like we were talking about earlier, like Don't Speak. It's such a like kind of hits your heart kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
That song. Some of the hit songs like Just a Girl, that's like I feel like that's used in so many movies as a soundtrack. My favorite song on the album, because I really dig the bass riff in it, is Different People. I thought that bass riff was so cool. That's probably one of my favorites on the album, and I actually really like 16 too and Sunday Morning. Those are my favorites.
Interesting. You like the middle of this album a lot.
I do. I really do.
Wait, so
yeah.
The question, is this like the first time you've listened to Tragic Kingdom, like front to back / like these B-sides? Is this the first time you're hearing it?
Yes, essentially.
Okay.
So like I've listened to No Doubt before, like most of their hits and stuff. And I definitely listened to their greatest hits album that they have. So this was kind of neat for me to see, and you can tell like they're just like a fun kind of rock band kind of thing, right? Like just starting off with ska, which was, I believe at this time is kind of a newer genre that people are kind of experimenting with. So
the revival of it. Yeah.
I felt that they did it well, and her vocals, like she's got some raw kick-ass vocals to this.
Yeah.
Gwen Stefani, right? So like, and this is obviously pre-Hollowback Girl. Right. So like it's just she has a different like rawness to her voice, which is interesting.
Yeah. Grown Up Gaming, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. So I listened to Tragic Kingdom like as a kid. Because I remember as a young child, I really liked this album. I really liked No Doubt as a kid. I never really ventured past Tragic Kingdom, to be honest. I've only stuck with Tragic Kingdom and listened to it a decent amount in my youth. Coming back to this album, there are certain things about this album that I find boring. So like, obviously a song like Don't Speak, I think that's one of the greatest songs ever written. Like you really feel like the tension and the emotion on that song. I guess I'll just go into the backstory of that song. Gwen Stefani and the bass player, what's his name? Tony. I think his name's Tony. They dated for like 7 years prior to this album, and they broke up, but they kept the band together. So they're still in the band together. But the song Don't Speak is about them breaking up in the band. So like even recording this song must be like super awkward for everyone. But like emotionally, it just like hits all the points there. Song like Spiderwebs that opens up the album, that's a freaking phenomenal song. And then, you listed Just a Girl, that's great. Like there's so many great songs on here that, it really brings the album up. But everything around those sort of hit singles, I listen to them now and I'm like, okay, this is sort of like mediocre ska. Like there isn't something that really pulls me to listen to these songs again. which is interesting because you really like some of the songs that I thought was like all right. I'm not saying that these songs are bad by any stretch. I'm just like, there's other things I could listen to.
That's fair. And I will have to agree with you. Like I did feel like for having 14 songs on this album, I felt you could have shortened the list.
Yeah.
Probably a bit, because then you are right. Like some of the songs ended up sounding the same, like pretty similar. So it was like, okay, like let's get on with it. But I would say this is like, because if you definitely ask people like, oh, you like ska music, I feel like No Doubt's like at the bottom of their list, because there are a lot of other ska bands that kind of bring to light. Obviously, I feel like No Doubt should be, looked at when you're talking about ska. And I just feel like it's a perfect entry level for if you don't know that music. Because like you said, like Spiderwebs, it's such a cool, like hearing rock music with like a brass section. It's very like just uncommon. So it's like, whoa, what is this? This kind of sounds a bit neat, right? So,
yeah, no, you put it perfectly. No Doubt is like the perfect entry level ska band. Like it leads you to like quote unquote proper ska afterward. Not saying that No Doubt is bad in any stretch, but like it definitely is at that cusp of like, this is what ska could be. Go listen to other bands that actually do it even better. Yeah, I don't know. This album for me, listening to it again, there are definitely really, really, really high points. But now that I listen to it, I'm like, there could have been songs that were left off of this album. 14 songs on this album is a bit long for what they are providing. Because a lot of the songs are very much like in that happy range. There's a few like sad songs on this, but for the most part, 90% of this album is like up in the major key and just happy and brass section and everything. So it definitely could have been shortened and it would have been a much better experience overall. Eric, any other thoughts before going to final ratings, or we could just go into final ratings if you want?
I honestly think that you should definitely check out this album, even like with the 14 songs on it. I think Gwen Stefani is awesome. She's a perfect vocalist for this band. Yeah. I can't see anybody else singing for this band just because she does it so well. Yeah. But my final rating, I would have to give this a solid 8 out of 10 for sure.
Ooh, wow. An 8 out of 10. That's pretty good. Yeah. For me, I'm giving this a solid 7 out of 10 on this album.
Always have to be one lower than me, eh?
if this was like based on just the hits, this is like a 10 out of 10, because like some of these songs are like perfectly crafted and there's nothing better, but there's too much bloat on the album for me to say this is a really, really, really good album. So it's a good album, it's just not great.
There you go.
All right, perfect. So that is our look at Tragic Kingdom by No Doubt. For those of you following along with us every single week, the album that we are going to be listening to is Dreamboat Annie by Heart.
Nice. I forgot we were doing this album.
So it'll be good. I'm excited because I've never listened to Heart front to back, like any of their albums. I know like the songs on the radio, so that's like what, 3, 4, 5 singles, but I've never like listened to any album front to back, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
All right, Eric, let's get into this mixtape battle. So what we do here is we take a random speech generator, produces 3 random topics. One of us chooses one of those topics, and the other person creates a 3-song ultimate mixtape. And Eric, last week you got whining as your topic. So hit me up with your 3 songs.
All right. So when I was compiling this list, I was trying to figure out like what songs are the most whiniest like songs. And then what do you think of, Kem? What genre? Emo music.
Emo, of course. Emo.
So I picked the top 3 emo bands of all time. So coming in at number 3, this is according to the people, not me. This isn't my list because I don't listen to emo music because I'm a very happy person. Anyways, so this first song is Fall Out Boy, a little less 16 candles. Like look at that hair. Like what
Jesus.
screams whining more? And
Pete
this
Wentz.
is definitely their biggest whiny song. I chose a very whiny song too. So go listen to it. It's very depressing.
Wait, what's the song again? I missed it.
A little less 16 candles. So 16 candles is a love story that's like a typical like romance movie in the 80s. And
Chasing Dragonflies loves that song. I've never heard the song in my life.
So you should check it out, Kem. And then you can grow your hair like the singer there. At number 2, and I don't remember this band, but then when I listened to the song, I was like, oh, I remember this song. The band is Bright Eyes.
Okay. I remember this
and the song is Lover I Don't Have to Love.
I guess I'm just not emo enough. This is 0 for 2 for me. I don't know this song.
So I feel like you would know both these songs, because at first I was just like, what are these songs? And I listened to them like, oh, okay, I know. They've definitely played on the radio when we were younger.
Okay.
So check that out. Lover I Don't Have to Love. So I think that's hilarious. And then the last one, which is the number 1 most emo band, is My Chemical Romance. And the song is I'm Not Okay.
Yeah,
I Promise.
That is the most emo like title for any song that's ever existed.
Absolutely. So this is my whining list.
I wonder what it's like to be in My Chemical Romance. Like, I wonder if it's really depressing and to be in that band.
Probably is.
Or are they just happy? Maybe they're really happy people.
Maybe. Who knows?
No, this is a great list, Eric. Even though I only know 1 out of these 3 songs, I do know these bands, and they're definitely very emo. So,
Absolutely, they are.
You're giving Fall Out Boy a bad vibe from this. Anyways, this is a great mixtape, Eric. I love it. This is really fitting for whining. Very good emo mixtape, I would say. All right, let's do this. Let's get this done. So here's a speech generator or topic generator. Once I click this button, it'll produce 3 topics. Here we go. Okay. Sesame seeds, lions, and government power.
Ooh, I feel like you can do something with government power.
Government power is just going to be anti-COVID mandate, COVID-19 vaccine.
Rage
songs.
Against the Machines.
No, I'm going to be pro whatever they are. Anti-vaccine. I'm going to make a mixtape of just like
anti-vaxxers.
No to the vax. Let's not do I do not want government power.
Okay.
I'm gonna choose rage related mixtapes before.
That's very true. I think that we should do lions.
Lions,
because I don't think you can do anything with sesame seeds. Unless cook with them, but this isn't a cooking podcast.
Yeah, sesame seeds that's definitely a difficult one. Okay, yes. I'm down for lions. Let's go with lions.
Let's do lions.
Luden's very disappointed in you. He wanted sesame seeds. All right. Eric, I think we're running short on time. So do you want to save Thief or Not a Thief for next week?
Let's save it for next week.
Okay, perfect. Then let's wrap this up. Chasing Dragonflies says, pick a 7 Lions song for your mixtape. Yeah, maybe I could do that. Let's wrap this up. So we did have 2 controversial statements this week. The first one, Eric's compared ABBA to the Black Plague of modern times. So that was wonderful. And then I said that Vince Neil is too fat to race in an Indy car. So I'm sure that's very offensive to a lot of people. But Vince Neil's a piece of shit, so I don't care. He's an actual piece of shit. All right, wonderful. So that is our show. Thanks everyone for tuning in on this lovely Valentine's Day special. Catch us on Apple Music, Spotify. If you're listening to us on any of those podcast platforms, catch us here at twitch.tv/the Crossroads Music Podcast every Monday at 10 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. PST. We are live here. Come join the chat. Come yell at us. Also, join the Discord because that's always a fun time in there. That's another place you can yell at us. But yeah, that's basically it. We will be back here next Monday. Same place, same time. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Eric, any closing thoughts, phrases, words of wisdom before we wrap this all up?
Happy Valentine's Day, and thank you all for tuning in.
Wonderful. Perfect. All right. Catch you all next time. See ya.
Peace.